Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, George Mason University proudly brings to you its premier movie review program that's out of this world. I'm the Dean Machine, Roger Dean, with Mason Cable Network and Student Media, and this is From the Cinema. I hope everyone has had a good week. I hope you're all enjoying the snow. I'm Roger Dean, and this is From the Cinema, brought to you by Mason Cable Network, Channel 231. I want to preface this review by thanking you for all of your support of last week's show. Keep sharing it and liking it. The link to last week's show can be found hopefully below. Before I get started, am I the only one who thinks we need a new background? I don't think I am. Well, even if I am, it's my show and I can do what I want. So, I'm changing the background. I know, rebel status, right? What do you think? Like it? I know I do. Anyways, let's get this show on the road.
Hey, I thought you didn't have a driver's license.
You don't need a license to drive a sandwich.
Last week, I reviewed the 2008 suspense thriller film, Taken. This is the second installment of my Taken series, so without further ado, I will be reviewing Taken 2, 2012. Taken 2 is still a French film in the action thriller category. A different director than the first one directed this one. Taken was directed by Pierre Morel. Taken 2 was directed by Oliver Megaton. He should have directed the Transformers series because of his last name, but oh well, can't win them all. He is a French director born Oliver Fontana in 1965. He is best known for directing The Red Siren in 2002, Transporter 3 in 2008, Colombiana in 2011, and Taken 3 in 2015, which I will review next week. I have seen none of those other movies. I wonder if any of them are good. I know Colombiana has Zoe Saldana in it. She is attractive and good in a lot of her movies. She's in Avatar as Nietri and Guardians of the Galaxy 2014 as Gamora, the green Black Widow. Now, let's talk about Taken 2. This movie stars Liam Neeson again, and no one else. However, before I begin, I would like to say that this sequel should have never happened. This movie was just awful. But it was only awful in comparison to its predecessor, Taken. It was not as good. Taken was a great movie, and then Taken 2 was not. It's just really bad in comparison. It's like the Iron Man series. Iron Man was great with Robert Downey Jr., RDJ. And I thought Iron Man 2 was awful in comparison. I won't ruin Iron Man 3 for you. They should have left the Taken series alone at Taken. They should have used the money to make this Liam Neeson sequel to make another Liam Neeson sequel that never got made. We all know Liam Neeson rose to prominence when he starred in the title role in Steven Spielberg's 1993 Oscar winner Schindler's List as Oscar Schindler. I've never seen that movie. I've heard it's really good and really sad. They could have made the sequel, Schindler's List 2, Schindler's Other List. I don't know if it would have been a good movie or not, but neither was this one. Now, I'm going to break down this movie in 3 parts. Cast, plot, reception. This movie was produced by Luc Besson and was written by Luc Besson and Robert Mark Kamen, just like Taken 2. Just like Taken. Taken 2 has a very similar cast to the first one. Taken 2 stars Liam Neeson as Brian Mills when he goes to Istanbul and he and his wife are taken hostage by the father of a kidnapper Mills killed while rescuing his daughter in Taken. The entire movie happens because the patriarch of the community of the Albanian gang of human traffickers, Murad Krasinski, portrayed by Rade Sherbadegia, seeks revenge for the death of his son. The daughter, Kim Mills, is still played by Maggie Grace, who also starred opposite Tom Welling in The Fog. I haven't seen it. Famke Janssen still portrays Lenore Mills. She also portrayed Ava Moore on Nip Tuck. And Leland Orr still plays Sam Gilroy. He is still not a main character in any movie. The villain, played by Rade Sherbadegia, has been in many other movies. He is internationally known mainly for supporting roles in the Hollywood films, most of which you've probably seen, such as Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, X-Men First Class, great movie, The Saint, never seen it, and Mission Impossible 2, still never seen it. And for his recurring role as former Soviet Army General Dmitry Gnedenko in the 6th season of the TV action series 24. The movie was received negatively because it was just awful. It wasn't as great as the first one by any stretch. I mean, let's break it down. The epic phone call scene wasn't as good as the original, or even as it could have been in the sequel. The phone call wasn't as long or as cool.
Listen to me carefully, Kim. Your mother and I are going to be taken.
However, the reasoning this movie happened was just as realistic as the original. Human trafficking and kidnapping could happen to anyone. Make sure we all use the buddy system. Before you leave to go anywhere, make sure you have an exit buddy.
Okay, first, find your exit buddy. Do you have your exit buddy?
Yes!
Anyways, this explains the reasoning as to why it happens in this movie.
He was my son. I killed your son because he kidnapped my daughter.
However, this elderly gentleman does not care. Even as a hostage, Liam Neeson is pretty hardcore.
If I kill you, your other sons will come and seek revenge. They will. And I will kill them too.
I mean, this meme sums this movie up. As poorly as this movie was received, it was a major box office hit, earning more than its predecessor. Taken made $226.8 million off of a $25 million budget. Taken 2, grossing over $376 million at the box office off of a $45 million budget, sadly, is the highest grossing film of the series. The movie is 98 minutes long and was released September 7th, 2012 at the Deauville Film Festival. It was released October 3rd, 2012 in France and October 5th, 2012 in the US and other places. It's great it didn't take them a year to release it this time, but in all honesty, it never should have been released, period, because this movie was just awful. However, the one redeeming quality of this movie is that there is a trilogy because of it. Speaking of the trilogy, I will review the trilogy of this movie next week. If you didn't know, that is aptly titled Taken 3. Notice the 3 is the E in the title stylization? I see what they did there.
Ha ha!
Bottom line, 1, stick to a buddy system. 2, kidnapping Liam Neeson's family is like really bad for your health. And 3, don't let Liam Neeson find you because every time he does, bad things seem to happen to people. 4, you need to see this movie in order to understand the next one. Now, I thank you all for sticking around to the end of the video. As stated before in my last video, I won't give it a rating here, but I will on my blog, which you can check out after the video at rogersrundown.blogspot.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, or emotional outburst, feel free to reach out to me personally on my Twitter at DeanMachine2016 or on my blog, which is again rogersrundown.blogspot.com. That is all. Thank you. Until next time, do good things and make good choices.
Thank you.